And now a couple of questions from Film Club members sent to us via Twitter for you, Daniel. Paul J. Carter wants to know, were you concerned about being taken seriously when taking on roles outside of Harry Potter?
It's not something you can really concern yourself with. You know, people are either going to or they're not, and at the moment, the only way I can affect that is by continuing to do good work. I can't get too hung up on what people are saying about me or what people are thinking about me and where I am in my career. I know where I am. And you know, I have a sense of where I'm going. So I guess no. I mean, you know, also having done Equus and a couple of other things, you know, I've already sort of started to you know, to do other jobs. So that kind of yeah, it's not something I think about too often. I know there are some people that have their doubts, but you know, time is on my side, and I will prove them wrong.
Monday Movies asked, how do you feel about being involved with something as iconic as Hammer House?
It possibly means more to me than it does to a lot of our generation, but you know, having worked on Potter and been a part of the British film industry for 11 years now, I've worked with a lot of people whose mums and dads worked on the original Hammer movies, so it is a source of pride to be, you know, involved in the resurgence of a very beloved company.
The Woman in Black has had audiences jumping out of their seats. What film have you seen that's given you the chills recently?
If the question is essentially what's your favourite horror film, I'd say The Shining.
Check out Dark Water, which is a Japanese horror film. That's pretty good.
Oh, that's quite a good film, yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about your next project?
What's up next? I'm doing a film called Kill Your Darlings, which is about a murder that formed or helped form the Beat generation of writers in the 1940s in America. The Beats kind of became famous in the 1950s, but they met in around 43, 44, and I'm playing a 19-year-old Allen Ginsberg, which is very exciting. He did not have a beard at 19, thankfully, and nor was he bald. So I will look basically like this, but a lot more Semitic.
Why do you think it's important for young people to have access to watch and discuss a wide range of films like we do at Film Club?
Film is a fantastic part of our culture. I mean, and the film business is one of the key creative industries in this country, and we punch well above our weight year after year. And I think for people to have that, to realise that there are, you know, work opportunities in the film business is something that I'm passionate about, and people should reach out. I didn't know anybody in the film business when I started out. You know, I was in Scotland with my parents. I didn't have a clue, and it sort of seemed like a slightly unrealistic business to be in. To say, oh, you can be a film director was just another world to me. And actually to be able to say to people, look, there are the means of technology here. Look, you've got 2 video cameras here. You can go out and make a film now. You could go and do it in a way that I probably couldn't. You've got those opportunities, and people are hungry to find new talent. And as I say, partly because you're cheap and they'll exploit you.
But that's how you start, you know? The people who work hardest in the film industry and do the longest hours are generally the lowest paid at the start, and they're people who come in at the start, and they start at the bottom, particularly in the AD's ladder, the assistant director's ladder. You know, you go from runner to third to second to first, and that can take 20 years in some cases. But it is an amazing, as James said, it is an amazing industry. You know, Britain really does have some of the best crews in the world, and you know, I'm immensely proud to be from here.
We have the actors, and we have the, you know, the writers, and we have the directors.
We've got, you know, but there are so many avenues to get into in film that if people are interested, there is a role for everyone on a film set.
What films have inspired or influenced you both the most?
I mean, there's so many great films, and as I always say, you are what you eat. And if you know, and you consume so many films, and Dan does, I do. You know, that's our passion. So, and you can never quite be necessarily articulate as to which ones inspire you consciously or unconsciously, because they're all in there somewhere, even the bad ones, you know. So, but for this, obviously, there was lots of great classic ghost stories, Japanese horror ghost stories, great British ghost stories like The Innocents. You know, some of the Spanish, you know, the Spanish have been making these great ghost stories recently, and that's part of the reason where I was thinking, well, why can't we do one over here? You know, it's a British thing, the ghost story.
The film that kind of first really inspired me was a film called 12 Angry Men, which is about it takes place entirely in one room. I think in the whole movie there's about 2 minutes spent outside of this one room, and it's a jury deciding on the fate of a man, and it's amazing. It's one of the most captivating films, and it's brilliantly done.
Who are your all-time favourite film heroes and why?
Alfred Hitchcock, because he's a Brit. He made wonderfully entertaining and accessible films, intelligent films that people could go and see, but they were entertaining. There's probably so many, aren't there?
There are so many. That's the thing. I mean, like Paul Newman. I remember when I first saw a film of his, I was just like lost my mind. I thought he was the coolest man I've ever. It's a constant argument I have with a friend of mine, is as to who is cooler, Paul Newman in Cool Hand Luke or Steve McQueen in Bullet, and it's a very, very hard conversation to have.
But also Paul Newman, a brilliant actor and a very classy guy in real life.
Exactly. But I mean, I don't know. You know, one of the people I love is Matt Damon, because he's a great actor, and he never he keeps himself to himself, and you never see him using his he never takes his wife down the red carpet with him or his kid down the red carpet, and I always admire that.
Daniel, from any role in film history, what role would you have liked to do?
You know, not that I would have done it half as well, but the David Niven role in A Matter of Life and Death, or actually Arthur in the film Arthur, the Dudley Moore part originally. I would have quite liked to have a go at that.
Thank you so much for the interview. It's been a real pleasure to meet you both.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Lovely to meet you. Cheers.